Welcome back everyone to another tutorial of mine. Today we're going to be making the panda and here are the materials that you will need. First off, a little bit of stuffing. You're going to need size 4 acrylic yarn. So I have it in white color, pink, and then dark brown. However, you can change this pink color to any other of the color that you would like for the panda. We also have a few pins. Basically, these gonna help when we need to sew the pieces together to keep all the pieces in place. We also have here the needle. It's just a yarn needle. Just make sure the eye piece is big enough so that you can easily insert the yarn all the way through. I also have here a stitch marker, but some people might also like to just use a scrap yarn. Next thing is the 3.5 mm crochet hook. I actually got asked a lot of questions about the crochet hook. Can you use a bigger size, smaller size? And basically, if you're going to be using size 4 yarn, I recommend anything between 3 to 3.5. Like, you shouldn't go too small or too big, right? Because the size of the hook wouldn't be compatible with the weight of your yarn. And lastly, you're going to need a scissors so that you can cut your yarn. So before we begin, I just want to let you know that I also have a playlist called Amigurumi 101. In that playlist, I have a lot of the slower paced tutorials. So if you need extra help with certain stitches or getting familiar with a certain techniques, I highly recommend you check that out. So first off, we are going to make the panda head and body. So it's gonna be kind of combined. We're going to start off with the white color yarn. So simply pull out a long piece of yarn so that we can start off with. In this round, we're going to make something called a magic ring, but the way I'm going to make this is it's gonna be an alternative to magic ring because I find that to be a lot easier for me as well as for people who are a beginner. So what you're going to do is to make a new loop so that you can make some chains. I usually like to cross the yarn over like that. As you can see, you will hold that intersection piece of the circle, fold it down, and then grab your hook, insert it under that crossover piece, and then pull through. So this is how you make a loop. But notice how right now the size of this loop is kind of big, like relative to the size of your hook, right? If you insert your hook into this, you can see there's some gap. So in order to close that gap, you're going to be pulling on the longer end of the yarn and slowly making the size of that loop closer so there's no gap. Now, so for people who don't know how to hold the yarn, some people might hold it differently, but as for me, I like to hold the shorter end of the yarn with my thumb, my middle finger, and also my ring finger, kind of like that. And then for the longer piece of the yarn, I kind of like to cross it over my index finger while holding those 3 fingers. And in order to tighten like this longer piece of yarn, I like to grab it with my pinky. Because if there's no pinky, let's say I release that, then I have no control over the tension of the yarn that went over the index finger. It's just one way I like to hold it, but you can hold it any way you like or you feel comfortable with. Okay, now that we have our first loop, we're going to make a chain. To make a chain, simply put the yarn over hook and pull through that loop. This is one chain. Repeat one more time, yarn over hook and then pull through the loop. So you can see now that we have two chains, 1 and 2. Next, we have to make 6 single crochet into the first chain. So I'm going to push my hook into that first chain, yarn over hook, and then pull through. You see how we have 2 loops? Yarn over hook and then pull through again, but through both loops. So I'm going through loop number 1 and then loop number 2. This piece that we just made right here is called a single crochet. We need to do the same thing for 5 more times. And you simply would push in your hook into that hole, the same one that you did the single crochet at first. You can see that like the size is slightly big, so you can easily see. And then yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops to make another single crochet. Yeah, this is the second single crochet that you just made. That one is the first one that you made. Now, gonna repeat the same thing. So push the hook into that hole, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook again and pull through both loops. Now you get the third single crochet. So we're just gonna make 3 more single crochet. So push the hook through that hole, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the 4th single crochet. We need 2 more. Push the hook through the hole, yarn over hook, pull through. We have 2 loops, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. This is the 5th single crochet. Okay, last one. You will notice that the hole that you will need to push your hook through will be kind of in the middle. So last one, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. So here we have made a total of 6 single crochet, and therefore at the end of round 1 we have a total of 6 stitches. So let me count for you. Counting the number of stitches at the end of each round is a very good practice, especially if you are a beginner, because once you messed up the current round, the number of stitch counts can get messed up even further. So if we mess it up in this round, by counting we'll know, and then we can fix it early on. Okay, so this is the first stitch. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. You see where the loop over there is the last one, the stitch we're currently on. So I'm simply gonna pull out my hook to make the loop bigger so that we don't accidentally undo. And now, in order to keep track of our round, I'm going to insert my stitch marker at the end, or well, at the very last stitch, as you can see here. So let me zoom closer and show you again. You can see that each of the stitch will have something called front loop. So this one closer to me, and then back loop, that one further away from me. Simply insert the stitch marker right under both of the loop. you see how that stitch marker go under the 2 loops, and then simply rotate it in to secure it. Okay, so now we have marked the end of the round. And if some of you have a problem with the hole being big, what you can do is simply pull on this tail, like the short end of the tail, hold your piece and then pull. And this will help make the hole a lot smaller. I usually get a lot of comments from people saying that perhaps the first 2 rounds are kind of hard to follow. So if you need additional help, I highly recommend the Amigurumi 101 playlist, because I also go over how to make a magic ring and the alternative method as shown here at a slower pace. Okay, so now we're going to continue on round 2. In this round, we're going to learn a new kind of technique. It's called increase. By my definition, increase is when you make 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So the way we're going to start off is you're going to push your hook into the next stitch next to your current stitch. So it's gonna be that one right here. And you're going to push it in under the front and back loop. So you should see the 2 loops on top when you push your hook into the stitch. Now, basically make a single crochet. So yarn our hook, pull through, you have the 2 loops, you yarn our hook and then pull through both loops, right? That's how you make 1 single crochet. In order to increase, you're going to have to make 1 more single crochet in that same stitch. So we're gonna push the hook back into that same hole, right? Yarn our hook, pull through, yarn our hook, and then pull through both loops to make the second single crochet. So now you can see that we have made 2 single crochet in the same stitch. This is what I call an increase. All right, we need to do that increase 5 more times. So on the next stitch, it's gonna be this one right here. Push the hook into it and then make single crochet. Okay, that's 1 single crochet. I need 1 more in the same stitch. Okay, now you can see that we made an increase because that's 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. Now let's keep increasing until we, reach the end of the round. So that's the 3rd stitch. I'm gonna make 1 single crochet. That's 1, and then in the same stitch, yeah, that's 2 single crochet total. Next, on the 4th stitch, push the hook and then make 1 single crochet, and then I'm gonna make another single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, now on the 5th stitch, 1 single crochet and then 1 more single crochet. Okay, we have the increase. And on the last stitch, before you can crochet, you need to take out the stitch marker first. But yeah, try not to forget that is our last stitch. Push the hook and then make 1 single crochet, right? And then 1 more in the same stitch. Okay, so right now we have increased a total of 6 times. I'm going to mark the end of the round first so that we don't forget, where's the end of the round. So same thing, insert the stitch marker in, and rotate it a little bit so it's secure. And at the end of this round, you should have a total of 12 stitches. I'm going to count for you. This is the first stitch we started off with, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the number of stitches we have in this round is correct. Now let's move on to round 3. For round 3, we're going to follow a particular sequence. Basically, we're going to make 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and in the second stitch, we're going to make an increase. And then we'll repeat that for a total of 6 times. So let me push my hook into that first stitch. Yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, push your hook and then increase. So 1, and then that's 2 single crochet, so it made an increase. Alright, so again, the sequence is 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and in the stitch after, make 2 single crochet or an increase. Now for the third and fourth stitch, let's repeat the same thing. So on the first one, or the third one in this case, 1 single crochet. On the next one, we make an increase. So that's 1, and then 2. So 1 and then 2. Repeat until we reach the end of the round. So that's 1, 1 in the same stitch, 2, that's an increase, 1, 1, 2. That's 1, 1, and then 2. Okay, we're down to the last 2. So that's 1 single crochet, take off the stitch marker, and increase on the last one. 1 in the same stitch. Okay, 2. That's 2 single crochet in the same stitch, so we just made an increase, and also insert back the stitch marker. Okay, so here's how it looks like for the end of round 3. You should have a total of 18 stitches, and I'm going to count for you again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18. Alright, let's start round 4. The sequence is going to be very similar. Instead of make 1 single crochet then increase, right now we're going to make 2 single crochet then we increase. So in the next 2 stitches we're going to make 1 single crochet in each, and then followed by an increase. So let's show you. So push your hook into the first stitch, make 1 single crochet. Again, push your hook, same thing, into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. So it's 1 and then 1, and then increase. So in the third stitch, you're going to make 2 single crochet. Alright, so you can see it's 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, increase. And since we already made that sequence once, we need to make it 5 more times for this round. So in the next one, there's 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, there's 1 single crochet, and in the stitch after, we make an increase. So that's 1 and then 2. So you can see here we have 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase. We keep repeating until you reach the end of the round. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1. Okay, that's an increase. So it's 1, 1, and then increase. Gonna repeat again. 1, 1, increase, 1, 1. Oopsie, I messed up, so let's redo. Okay, that's an increase. 1, 1. Take out the the stitch marker on the last stitch and then increase. Alright, we are done. Make sure to mark the end of the round. Okay, and in this round you should have a total of 24 stitches. I'm going to count for you one last time. However, in the subsequent round, you should try to count yourself and make sure that you made everything correctly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and the one on the stitch marker is 24. Okay, so for the next 6 round, basically round 5 to round 10, we are going to make single crochet, only single crochet. There won't be any increases, so you don't need to worry about that. So I usually call this round you just single crochet around. Okay, so simply push your hook into a stitch and then make 1 single crochet. Simple, right? And then just repeat the same thing. So in the next stitch, okay, another single crochet, just 1, and that's it. Just keep repeating that until you're at the end of the round. So next stitch, 1 single crochet, next stitch, 1 single crochet, in the next stitch, just 1 single crochet. Yeah, so really nothing very interesting. I'm going to see you though at the end of the round once I'm done. Okay, so here I'm at the end of round 5. You should still have a total of 24 stitches, so make sure to count. one more thing I want to show you before we move on to the next round is that I have cut out a small piece of yarn in a different color, and simply I'm going to put it to mark right under here. So you see the stitch where you just finish off, or the last stitch of this round. Going one hole below, push your hook in, grab the yarn, put it over the hook, and then pull through. The reason for doing this is because sometimes when you repeat the same kind of stitches for many rounds, sometimes you can get lost, right? Because like for the next few rounds, all we're going to be doing is just single crochet around. So in order to help us not to get lost, this will help. We can tell that the round above the pink yarn is round 5, where the round below the pink yarn is round number 4. And yeah, I'll come back and show you again why that is helpful. But right now for the next round, round 6, you basically just gonna repeat the same thing, right? Just single crochet around, same thing as round 5, and I'll meet you there once you're done with round 6. Okay, right now I'm at the end of round 6. As you can see, right above that pink yarn, you can see that, oh, there are 2 rounds, so round 5 and round 6. So that is the benefit of having that pink yarn or a marker inserted right there, especially if you have to repeat, you know, the same kind of round multiple times. In this case, we are going to finish off right here. So pull out that stitch marker, all right, and then cut out, you know, a generous length of yarn, because we need to do a little bit of sewing for our finish off. Put your hook in the loop and then just simply pull it through. This is how we finish off a piece. The reason for this is because we want to change the color to pink color for the panda, and we want a smooth color change. Now grab the tail, insert it into a needle. Yeah, so something like that. And then we're going to make sure we have the smooth edge. In order to do that, you see the stitch next to where you finish off. This is the last stitch. This is the stitch after, and then you move it one more. We're gonna skip that one. The stitch right next to where you finish off, and then insert the needle into here. All right. And then this is where we finish off, right? We're going to insert the needle, not right under the 2 stitch, but right in the middle of the 2 stitch. Okay, and then just pull. And once you're done, we need to kind of secure it. So I'm gonna trying to grab like a piece of yarn on the inside and then pull. Maybe do one more time just to really secure it. Now you can cut the tail, not too close, but you know, give it some length so it doesn't unwind and come off. Alright, so as you can see here, this is where we finish off, and we have cleaned up the tail really well, so you can see the edge look pretty smooth. Okay, now we want to continue with round 7, but with a different color yarn. So I'm gonna grab the pink yarn, and here we need to start a new loop. Same thing, cross the yarn over, hold it at the intersection point, fold it down, and grab your hook, put it right under that piece of yarn, pull. So you have a loop, make it a little bit smaller. And on here, we can see that over here is the last stitch of round 6. I'm going to insert my hook in the stitch right next to it. Okay, now just make a single crochet. So round 7 is basically same thing as round 5 and 6, just single crochet around, but we just using a different color yarn here. So I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. Yeah, I think you got an idea. So basically, I'm just gonna keep going and then I'll meet you toward the end of round 7. Alright, so I'm almost done with round 7. I just need to make 2 more stitches. But when I do that, what I also like to do to kind of make the color scheme nicer is, this is the tail, right, that came out of the new loop for the color shade. I'm gonna put it over the hook. Alright, and then I'm just gonna go about my business, just making 2 more single crochet, 1 in each stitch. Okay, alright, so that's the last stitch of the round. You still can just, put in the stitch marker to help you see better, but I still can see as well that, that marker we put is still there. So if we trace it up, we're still able to tell that that is the last stitch of the round. Again, in this round, you should still have a total of 24 stitches since we did not make any increase, so the number of stitch count should not change. Alright, so in round 8, you also going to make, single crochet around, same thing as round 7. So I will meet you there at the end of round 8. Okay, here we're at the end of round 8. Right now we're also gonna switch back the color to white color. So then let's take off the stitch marker and finish off. Again, cut the tail but leave generous length so that you can sew, and then pull out the tail just like this. Push the tail into the needle. Same thing as before, we're going to make sure the edge is smooth. So in this stitch next to where you finish off, we're gonna skip, and in the stitch right after, let's push the needle in. Okay, next, on the last stitch where we finish off, we're gonna insert the needle right in the middle and then just pull. And on the inside, we're gonna try to secure the tail. Just pick up like a piece of yarn and insert the needle right below. I'll do it twice just in case. Alright, lastly, cut the yarn off. Okay, so you could see that at this spot, the color change looks super smooth, and that edge is smooth as well. Okay, so before we continue with round 9, I just want to start making faces on the panda by doing some embroidery. It's actually going to be a lot easier if we make the facial detail now than, you know, after we added stuffing, because stuffing sometimes gets in the way and it's a bit annoying. So let's just, you know, do it right now. So grab the brown color yarn. Gonna take this. Simply put the piece of yarn into the needle, just like that. And I'm just gonna use the pins to kind of mark the location so that you see where the eye placement would be at. The eye would essentially be on round 5 and then round 6. So those, you know, 2 rounds of white. I'm just gonna push the needle right there into one of the hole. Okay, so and then right there as well. So the length of the eye or the height of the eye would be 2 stitch tall, or, you know, 2 round tall, whatever you call it. And then the distance from the first eye to the second eye would be 6 stitches apart. Okay, so this is where the first eye would be at, and the second eye would be 6 stitches away. So I'm gonna count the hole right after that yellow pin. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Let me count again to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Alright. And you could also mark another pin, you know, to just so that you can see more clear where the location is gonna be at. But when I actually like do the sewing, I'm gonna be taking out most of the pin and then just have that one critical one there, and then I'll remark just so that I don't have too many pin there and it will get in the way. So what I usually do is pull out the pin slightly, but don't pull it all the way because we need to know where it is. But you will insert the needle from the inside going out in the same hole as where the pin is at, and once you got the location down, you can remove the pin after. Okay, so now down 2 rounds, we're gonna go outside in and start to embroider the eye. I like to loop around the eye a couple of times because right now it's super thin, right? We want to add a bit of thickness to the eye. Okay, if you like it like that, you can stop there, or you could do one more loop as well. In the other tutorial that I've made, you can see like the eye would be looking very similar to the duck. So I'm gonna stop right there, and to do so, I'm simply gonna cut out the tails. I'm gonna give it some length, so I'll cut it like right there. And I need to secure the eye. So what I'll do is I'll tie a knot using the 2 tails. Just simply tie it twice. and then I can cut the tails to even be shorter. Alright, first eye is done. Gonna make the second eye over there at the location that we have marked earlier. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then going from the inside and out. Going to wrap it twice. Okay, and then tie a knot to secure, a double knot actually. Cut the tails. Okay, so now we got the eyes. For the nose, I'm also going to be using dark brown yarn. Okay, but instead I'm going to, let's see, mark the location like right here. So you can see that there's a hole in the middle between where I mark and where the eye is at. So we want the nose to be 2 stitch long. It's gonna look like a T shape. So first off, I'm gonna insert my needle right in between. So it's right in the center basically. And now 2 stitch down, insert my needle again. Okay, so it's just a line. And once I'm done, I'm gonna pull off that pin and insert the needle inside out. Okay, and then I'm gonna insert the needle outside going into where the other pin is at. Oopsie, okay. Just want to make sure everything is tight and secure. You don't want to do embroidery of the face detail and like string come out loose. So as you can see, it's almost like a T shape, but I'm gonna wrap around the nose one more time to give it a bit of thickness. Okay, I'm very happy with how it looks. So we're gonna secure the tails once again. Now we're going to continue with round 9. Since we need to change the color back to white, let's make a new loop. Okay, and then this is where the last stitch is at based on that marker. the stitch next to it. Let's insert. And now you simply just single crochet around. So just make one single crochet in each stitch until you reach the end of the round. Yeah, just like that. So for round 9 and round 10, it's gonna be exact same thing, single crochet around, and I will see you at the end of round 10. Okay, so now I'm at the end of round 10. You can see that round 9 and then that's round 10 above the pink rounds. For this round, we are going to follow a sequence again, but it's gonna be slightly different one. So it's gonna be 2 single crochet, then decrease. Decrease is an opposite of increase. When you think of increase, you are increasing the number of stitch in a particular round, but when you decrease, the opposite, decreasing the number of stitches in that round. Okay, so for the next 2 stitch, let's just push our hook in the first stitch, make a single crochet. In the next stitch, make another single crochet. Yeah, so we make 2 single crochet now, 1 in each stitch. And in the stitch after, let's make a decrease. To make a decrease, you push your hook into the first stitch, yarn over hook, you pull it through. See how now we have 2 loops, but we're going to continue. So push the hook into the stitch after, yarn over hook, and then pull through. Here we have 3 loops. Yarn over hook again and then pull through all of the loops. Here you might have to pull tighter because that decrease stitch, you don't want it to have a big gap in between. So that is what I usually do. And again, the sequence is 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then decrease. So let's repeat again. So that's 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then decrease. So yarn over hook, pull through, push into the next one, yarn over hook, pull through again to have 3 loops. Yarn over hook and then pull through all 3 loops, and make sure the stitch is tight. So we have 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then decrease. We're gonna repeat that until we reach the end of the round. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then decrease. One single crochet, 1 single crochet, decrease. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then decrease. Okay, last time. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then before I decrease, I need to take out the stitch marker. Alright, we are done with round 11. So let's insert the stitch marker to mark the end of the round. So after we made this round, you can kind of see that the hole is getting smaller, and that's because we, decreasing the stitch so that we can close the hole. And at the end of this round, you should have a total of 18 stitches, so make sure to count before you move on. Okay, for round 12, very similar sequence, but instead we are gonna make one single crochet, then decrease. So in the first stitch, that is one single crochet, and then in the next two stitches we are decreasing. So one single crochet, decrease, and repeat that sequence for 5 more times. So one single crochet, decrease, one single crochet, decrease, one single crochet, decrease, one single crochet, decrease, one single crochet, take out the stitch marker, and then decrease, let's mark the end of the round. Alright, so in this round you should have a total of 12 stitches. Make sure to count before we move on. Right now is a good time to start adding some stuffing. So when I add stuffing, you can just put it in and try to push it to the side first rather than right in the middle. So I like to stuff along the side. And I usually like to stuff very firmly, so most of my creation are actually not soft unless it's made with a blanket yarn or super bulky yarn, then those are actually soft. But usually my creation that is made with acrylic yarn is more meant to be kind of like a figurine, just for decoration, not really to hug because it's not very soft. And I kind of like it that way. I just want it to be kind of stiff so that it holds its shape. Yeah, I'm gonna keep stuffing a little bit more. Alright, I try to make sure it's pretty round with the amount I stuff. Okay, so now we are on to our last round, round 13. All we need to do is decrease until we reach the end of the round, so it's gonna be a total of 6 decreases. So let's do it. That's one decrease. That's 2 decrease. Three. Four. I'm gonna take that stitch marker out. I know that I have to make 2 more times. 5, and then one last one. So after you make the last decrease, you can just, cut out a long tail of yarn and then just finish off. But in my case, I already used up all my yarn. I should have prepared a little bit more because it was cutting close. It's alright though. And here I'm gonna try to add just a little bit more of the stuffing. Just using my hook to help me push it in. Alright, now once you're done, let's close the hole. Okay, so the way we're gonna close the hole is insert that tail into a needle. So the longer tail would be easier, but in my case it's a bit short, but it's alright. We're going to insert the needle in and then out the next stitch like that, and then pull, and then keep going in and out on the next stitch, and then pull. Just do it a couple of times or until you come around to the other side, and then once you did that, you can just pull really tight so it will close the hole that you have. And to completely secure it, I'm gonna bring this tail to somewhere else on the other side. Alright. And then I'm gonna hide that tail inside using the needle to help me. Okay. And this marker, we don't need it anymore, so you can just pull it out. Okay, so we made it, the head, the body, as well as facial features. Let's make the ear using pink yarn. So we're gonna start off by making a new loop. And then chain 2. 1, 2. And then same thing, we're going to make 6 single crochet into the first chain. You can also make 6 single crochet in a magic ring. The result would be the same. The approach is just slightly different. So that's 2 single crochet now. Gonna keep going. 3, 4, 5, and then 6. If the hole is a little bit too big, remember to pull this. Ta-da! You should have a total of 6 stitches in this round, so let's mark the end of the round. And that's the end of round 1. For round 2, all we need to do is make 1 single crochet followed by an increase and repeat for a total of 3 times. So that's 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's increase, so 1 single crochet and then an increase. That's 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's an increase, and then one more time, 1 single crochet, and then I need to take out my stitch marker. Alright, that's the end of this round. Let's mark the end of round 2. For round 2, you should have a total of 9 stitches. Now let's continue round 3. Round 3 is very simple. You're just gonna single crochet around. So make 1 single crochet in each stitch. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take out the stitch marker. 9. And then just cut the tail, alright, and then pull out like this. The tail is a bit too long now. I'm gonna cut it slightly shorter, but not too short because we need to sew. And you see this middle part as well. I'm also gonna cut it to be a bit shorter. And at the end of round 3, you should also have a total of 9 stitches. And I'm simply gonna I guess fold the ear like this so it's flat. And that's how the ear should look like. You're going to need to make one more. Okay, so I used some pins to help me pin the ear on top of the head, as you can see here. We need to secure the location before we can sew, because without the pin, as soon as you sew, you might, shift the location of the ear around, and that is not what we want. I did that a lot when I was still, a beginner at Amigurumi, and the part always, shifted around, and I learned that the best way is to pin it down. It's very simple and will save you a lot of time. So in order to start sewing, grab the needle once again and insert the tail into the needle. Alright, so the way I like to sew is we're gonna start off by, this is where you have the tail. You're gonna just grab a piece of yarn you can find on the heat, so any white piece, and then pull it out like that. And I'm gonna go back to the ear piece, going from inside and outward. Pull. Similarly, again, I'm gonna grab any of the white piece nearby. Pull. Going to the ear, inside out. Gonna push your needle out in like the stitch after, in the next stitch to the stitch that you just saw, basically. And grab the stitch nearby. If you can't really insert the needle and need to, pull out your pin, you can go ahead and do so. Oops. So on the ear, going inside and then out. Pull. And try to grab the yarn on the head. On the pink ear, inside out. Now grab the yarn nearby. On the ear, going inside out. Grab the yarn nearby, the white yarn. On the pink ear, inside out. Now grab the white yarn nearby. Pink ear, again, I'm gonna, at this point, just remove the pin because you already sewn a lot of spots, so the ear is not gonna really move. Inside out. Grab a piece of yarn nearby and then inside out. So this is the last stitch to be sewn, and to finish off, I'm just gonna poke the needle to somewhere else. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for now, and you should begin sewing the other ear, and we'll come back once you're done. Do not cut off the tail just yet, just leave it for now. Okay, so I have sewn the other ear on, as you can see, and I also make sure to have the other tail coming out through the same hole so that we can secure it by tying it together into a knot. I'll do a double knot before we cut it. Alright. And then last thing, just need to make sure you hide the knot inside of the panda. I'm gonna use the needle to help me. And here we are all done. So if you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if there are certain tutorial you're looking for, please let me know. I usually like to make animal characters, so if it's animal, it's a plus, and I might make them. So just let me know. Thank you so much, and bye bye.